In the ever-evolving landscape of modern filmmaking, where blockbuster franchises often dominate the conversation, Paul Thomas Anderson emerges as a steadfast advocate for originality and daring narratives. Known for his intricate storytelling and visual prowess in films like There Will Be Blood, The Master and Phantom Thread, Anderson has long been a voice of authenticity in an industry prone to formulaic excess. His latest project, the critically acclaimed One Battle After Another, starring heavyweights like Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence, has not only captivated audiences but also reignited debates about the vitality of contemporary cinema. As 2025 draws to a close, Anderson's reflections on the year's output challenge the pervasive narrative of decline, painting a picture of resilience and innovation that refuses to bow to pessimism. Anderson's comments, delivered in a candid interview with Le Monde, cut through the noise of industry complacency like a knife. The whole industry is constantly complaining. The sky is always falling, he remarked, his tone laced with a mix of exasperation and wry humor. This isn't mere rhetoric. It's a seasoned director's diagnosis of a sector that thrives on self-doubt. For decades, Hollywood has oscillated between booms of creativity and busts of commercial cynicism, with each era's prophets of doom predicting the end of original content. Yet, Anderson counters this fatalism by curating a veritable manifesto of 2025's triumphs, a lineup of films that prioritize bold visions over safe bets. He rattles off titles with the enthusiasm of a fanboy at a midnight screening: Eddington, a sprawling ensemble piece that weaves cosmic mysteries with human frailty; Weapons, a taut thriller that dissects the anatomy of vengeance in a post-digital world; Begonia, Yorgos Lanthimos' latest foray into absurdism, blending sci-fi whimsy with biting social commentary. Not stopping there, Anderson spotlights two Richard Linklater gems: Nouvelle Vague, an experimental riff on French New Wave influences set against Austin's indie rock scene, and Blue Moon, a meditative road trip through America's forgotten heartland, capturing the quiet poetry of fleeting connections. The list continues with Sentimental Value, a dramedy that explores the commodification of emotions in the gig economy, starring up-and-comers who bring fresh urgency to age-old dilemmas. Then there's Marty Supreme, the A24-backed drama slated for a winter release, which promises to delve into the shadowy underbelly of corporate espionage with the intensity of a John le Carré novel adapted for the TikTok generation. Anderson's fervor peaks when he invokes Sinners, Ryan Coogler's vampire saga that reimagines folklore through the lens of Southern Gothic horror, infused with Afrofuturist flair. Whoever wants to start complaining about movies right now needs to cool it, he asserts, half joking, half pleading. Where's Sinners? You have to mention that one, otherwise you're a criminal. It's a rallying cry that underscores his belief. In a year marred by strikes, streaming wars and AI encroachments, cinema's pulse beats strongest in these audacious outliers. These aren't the Marvel behemoths or rebooted nostalgia trips. They're risks taken by filmmakers unafraid to alienate, provoke, and ultimately illuminate. To fully appreciate Anderson's optimism, one must contextualize it against the backdrop of 2025's challenges. The year began with the reverberations of the 2024 WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes, which delayed productions and squeezed budgets, forcing studios to lean harder into IP-driven fare. Box office figures told a tale of tentpole fatigue. Superhero flicks underperformed amid audience burnout, while mid-budget originals struggled for theatrical windows before vanishing into streaming oblivion. Critics, ever the harbingers, decried a content drought, pointing to algorithm-fueled homogenization where data points trump artistic intuition. Yet Anderson, ever the contrarian, sees this as a self-fulfilling prophecy. But let's take a look at this year, he urges, inviting a re-evaluation that shifts focus from the monoliths to the margins. Eddington exemplifies this, with its ensemble of Oscar-caliber talents navigating a multiverse of ethical quandaries, directed by an upstart who drew from quantum physics texts for inspiration. Weapons, meanwhile, arrives as a shot of adrenaline, its director employing guerrilla tactics to film an abandoned urban decay, yielding a visceral commentary on gun culture that's as poetic as it is unflinching. Linklater's dual offerings further bolster Anderson's case, serving as masterclasses in low-stakes ingenuity. Nouvelle Vague isn't just a nod to Goddard and Truffaut. It's a postmodern collage where characters debate semiotics over craft beers, blurring the line between homage and heresy. Blue Moon, by contrast, strips away the meta layers for a sun-dappled odyssey that echoes Before Sunrise but grapples with climate anxiety, its protagonist hitchhiking through dust-choked highways in search of unspoiled vistas. These films, modest in scope yet expansive in ambition, remind us that cinema's soul resides in conversation, not spectacle. Sentimental value extends this ethos into the emotional marketplace, where a protagonist, an app developer turned therapist for hire, unravels the irony of monetizing vulnerability. It's a timely satire that lands with the precision of a Black Mirror episode, but grounded in the warmth of human folly. As for Marty Supreme, early buzz suggests it could be the sleeper hit of award season, with its labyrinthine plot of betrayals and redemptions unfolding against a backdrop of Silicon Valley's gilded cages. Anderson's defense of sinners is particularly fervent, and rightly so. Coogler's film transforms the vampire mythos into a metaphor for generational trauma, set in the sweltering bayous of Louisiana where undead lineages mirror the legacies of slavery and resilience. With a score that fuses Delta blues and electronic pulses, it pulses with a vitality that's both terrifying and transcendent. By elevating these works, Anderson isn't just rebutting critics. He's curating a canon for the discerning viewer, one that celebrates the filmmakers who dare to dream beyond the quarterly report. His own One Battle After Another fits seamlessly into this pantheon, a war epic reimagined as an intimate character study, where DiCaprio's grizzled veteran grapples with PTSD through fragmented flashbacks and hallucinatory sequences. The film's climax, a rain-soaked standoff that blurs ally and enemy, has been hailed as a technical marvel, blending practical effects with subtle CGI to evoke the chaos of moral ambiguity. Jennifer Lawrence's endorsement amplifies this acclaim, her words a testament to the film's communal power. "This is the best movie I've ever seen. This is one battle after another," she gushed in a recent podcast, recounting the electric atmosphere of her screening. The scene she fixates on, DiCaprio fumbling a password on a vintage payphone amid a barrage of incoming calls, encapsulates the film's genius, a microcosm of vulnerability in a hyper-connected age. "I can't remember a time where I ever had an experience like that in the cinema, and it was shared," Lawrence continued, her voice thick with emotion. The applause that erupted post-credits wasn't scripted. It was the audience's instinctive response to art that demands reckoning. She credits her husband for securing tickets 2 weeks in advance, a small act of foresight that yielded profound gratitude.